Welcome back to Sad Clown Outdoors. Today we're talking lockers. I'm going to get specific on the Spartan locker because that's what I'm running, and I've had it for 4 years now. But we'll get into other types of lockers as well. So to start with, what's better, a front locker or a rear locker? If you can only choose one, rear locker, because generally you're climbing something when you need it. You're not going down because as you're going downhill, you've got gravity to help push you and everything else. It's when you're going up, and that's when all that weight is pushing to the back end of the vehicle, and that's when that locker is going to really stand out, that rear locker. That being said, a front locker is no joke. Front locker will pull you up. It still has the weight of the engine for the most part on it, and that's where my locker is at, especially because I'm running a YJ. I have that front axle disconnect on the right side, and mine's cable actuated because the old vacuum system failed and it sucked. But that Spartan locker works out very well in deep snow. I've taken it through, 2 feet of snow, and it pedals me through just fine. And the rear locker would be a better choice. I would be cautious in putting a front locker in your vehicle if you don't have that front axle disconnect, because they can stay locked when they're supposed to be unlocked, and you can have some issues with burning rubber on one side, or screeching a tire, or having real difficulty in steering. It does change your vehicle dynamics. So whenever I'm in four-wheel drive, I can just assume now that my steering is going to be a little more difficult and a little less willing to play, the nice guy with me. So the Spartan locker has held up outstandingly. I'm very happy with it. It was very easy install. It was only like $240, and it is quality, and it doesn't take much for you to understand how to put it in. You just take your 2 spider gears out and you put the little locker in, and you fill it back up with fluid. It's that simple, and it's very effective. That being said, if you're thinking about lockers versus like limited slip differentials, it really depends on your purpose. If you're a full-time off-road vehicle, go lockers, because they're better in deep mud, deep snow, and everything else. Now, if you have a daily driver like I do, where I'm driving it every day and I'm off-roading it, decent time of year, but most of it's going to be on the road, then in that slick ice or that slush, that limited slip rear is really going to help you out, because it will allow a certain amount of slippage so that you can maintain that vehicle going straight instead of being locked and it wanting to walk your vehicle sideways off the road. And on high speeds, you don't really want to be messing with a locker, quite frankly, in those environments. But if you're not on the pavement, you are off-road, that locker is going to work for you better every time. A limited slip in the rear is what I have, and a Spartan locker up front. So that LS gets me through most things. I rarely need to use the locker, but when I'm in deep snow, I put that locker on and I just forget about it, because it's just going to happen. It's going to work for me. Electronic versus air versus automatic lockers. So electronic lockers are nice because you push a button and it's there. It's using electromagnets, and it works out very well. But the problem with them is very expensive, and they rely on electronics. Now, I'm not too concerned with the electronics because, quite frankly, I don't know. I'm running them on the JL, and I haven't had the JL too long, but it doesn't seem like there's very much to go wrong with the electronic system on it, specifically locker oriented, except for they do have a rear sensor issue that they worked out in the 24 model, so I'm not too worried about it. But the electronic wires, people will be like, oh, I don't want to rip a wire off and they don't have a locker. Personal choice. But the electronic lockers, the biggest detriment is you have to wait for them to engage, because they won't just shift in and they're ready to go. Where the automatic locker, it's engaged. It's just clicking in place and moving on almost immediately. The electronic locker, you kind of have to roll forward a little bit or a little backward a little bit to get the locker unlock. And that's not really nice when you're, a quarter way up a hill. So you got to pre-plan when you're going to do it and engage that ahead of time. The air locker, like the ARBs, they are solid, they are sound, they will lock and unlock as you want them to. You're just dealing with air hoses and onboard air, and that's a cost factor, as well as ripping an air hose out is a lot more common if you don't route them properly. So there's pros and cons of each one. One it's a push a button, it's good to go. The other one is, as long as I have air, I push a button, it's good to go. But I have to watch out for the tubes, and they'll probably get brittle over time. I'm not sure. I'm not running an air locker because I didn't want to put a whole air system in my Jeep at the time. The Spartan works really well for my YJ because I can just disconnect that front axle and I don't have any steering issues whatsoever. I don't even notice it's there. But when I put it in place, then it works. But price-wise, that auto locker is going to be the cheapest, then that air locker, then the electronic lockers. The problem with the electronic lockers too, like the Eatons, a lot of them you have to pull the whole pumpkin out, that whole acorn, and take the ring gear off and put it onto the new thing, onto the locker acorn, and put it all in there. And it's a massive job versus just taking out some spider gears and putting in a quick, auto locker. But yeah, any locker is better than no locker, and depends on your application. So tune in next time. Feel free to like and subscribe. See you next time.